I always believed my life was steady. Not perfect, but steady. My marriage with Victor was built on trust. Or at least that's what I thought, loyalty commitment. The kind of partnership where you weather the storms together. Sure, we had our moments. Every couple does, but betrayal? No, that wasn't even in the realm of possibility for me. And then there was Sophia. God. Sophia, my best friend since childhood. She wasn't just a friend. She was family. She stood right beside me on my wedding day, holding my bouquet, wiping my tears. She's the godmother to my child. She's been there for every milestone, every crisis, every celebration. We were the kind of friends who finish each other's sentences, who laugh until we cry, who share everything, or at least I thought we did. Whenever life felt heavy, Sophia was always the one I called, whether it was a silly rant, a serious breakdown, or just someone to sit in silence with. She was always there. She was my person. The one person I never ever had to doubt, at least that's what I believed. But lately things started to feel off subtle at first. A weird glance, a conversation that suddenly stopped when I walked into the room. A look they shared that felt strange, but come on, it was Victor and Sophia, my husband, my best friend, the two people I trusted most in this entire world. My mind couldn't even begin to process the idea that something was wrong. And yet, once you notice one thing, you can't unsee it. It's like pulling on a loose thread. Suddenly, little things started adding up. Victor being oddly protective over his phone, Sophia canceling plans last minute with the dumbest excuses, and the way they'd act when we were all together, like they were in on some secret. My gut started whispering things I didn't want to hear, but I kept telling myself, stop it, you're imagining things, don't be ridiculous. I needed to believe that I kept holding on, desperately clinging to the belief that this was just me overthinking. Maybe they were planning a surprise for my birthday? Or maybe I was just tired, stressed seeing patterns where there were none. After all, these were the two people who knew me better than anyone else. The two people I trusted with my whole heart, but the thing about denial, it doesn't last forever. No matter how much I tried to silence that gnawing feeling in my chest, it only grew louder. The late night work meetings, the sudden distance, the inside jokes that didn't include me anymore, Sophia. Becoming less present, less available, always busy, always somewhere else. I couldn't shake it. I tried. I tried. But deep down, I knew something was coming. Something that was about to shatter everything I thought was real. I guess deep down I always knew, but knowing something in your gut and actually seeing it with your own eyes, those are two very different things. It started with little pieces that just didn't fit. Sophia always seemed to know exactly when Victor would be working late, almost as if she had his schedule memorized. And suddenly she had endless reasons to cancel plans with me. Quick excuses, rushed texts. Sorry, something came up, and Victor, well, he was becoming someone I barely recognized. Emotionally distant. Disconnected there, but not really there. His hugs felt hollow, his smiles forced, and whenever I tried to talk about it, he'd shut down. Change the subject act, like I was the one creating problems out of thin air. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for what happened that afternoon at Sophia's house. It was supposed to be just another casual visit. She'd asked me to help her with her phone, some silly tech issue she couldn't figure out. So there I was, sitting on her couch, scrolling through her settings, trying to troubleshoot. And then it happened. A message popped up. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear I wasn't, but it was right there, right in front of me, a notification banner that read something like, "Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you." My stomach dropped my hands. God, my hands started shaking. My vision blurred for a second. I genuinely thought I was going to pass out. I opened the thread. I don't even know how I found the strength, but I did. And what I saw? Messages, dozens of them. Some flirty, some intimate, disgustingly intimate plans, compliments, little confessions of how much they missed each other. Victor and Sophia, my husband and my best friend. At first, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. My brain went into this weird state of denial, screaming at me that there had to be some logical explanation. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's someone else's number. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. But no, there was no misunderstanding. Their names were right there. Their words, their secrets, their lies. A whole world. I wasn't supposed to see hidden in plain sight. My hands trembled so badly I almost dropped the phone. My heart felt like it was pounding out of my chest. And in that moment, standing there in Sophia's living room, staring at the truth written out in black and white, a part of me shattered completely. Utterly shattered, because this wasn't just betrayal. This was the deepest, cruelest kind, the kind that comes from the two people you trusted most in the entire world. And as much as I wanted to unsee it, I knew there was no going back, none. I wish I could tell you that I threw the phone at her, that I screamed, that I confronted her right then and there, but the truth? I didn't. I couldn't. I felt paralyzed, completely numb. It's like my body went into autopilot. Smiling, nodding, pretending everything was fine, when inside something was breaking, something was dying. But once I left her house, the numbness quickly twisted into something else, a gnawing, desperate need for answers, for confirmation. For truth, no matter how much it hurt. I started digging quietly, carefully, like a woman possessed. I went through Victor's phone records, his location history, his credit card statements. I don't even know how I managed to hold it together while doing it. And the more I uncovered, the worse it got. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This wasn't a stupid, drunken lapse in judgment. No, this was an entire second life unfolding right under my nose. Month after month, lie after lie suddenly. All those work trips made sense. All those girls' nights. Sophia bailed on the dots connected so perfectly it made me sick. Restaurant receipts in cities Victor wasn't supposed to be in, hotel bookings that didn't match his business. Itineraries, texts, calls, dates, all carefully woven behind my back. And you know the worst part, the absolute worst. Remembering the moments when I felt lonely, when I was struggling, when I needed them, both of them, and thinking they were busy living their lives, busy with work, busy with stress, busy with everything except me, when in reality they were busy with each other. I won't lie. I broke down. I cried until there was nothing left. I screamed into pillows. I punched walls. I collapsed onto the floor. Wondering how could they do this to me? How could the two people I loved most betray me in the exact same breath? But you know what? After the crying, after the screaming, after the hollow emptiness of realizing my entire reality had been a lie, something inside me shifted. It wasn't instant. It didn't happen overnight, but there was this voice, quiet at first, whispering, "No, you don't get to break here. You don't get to fall apart for people who never cared if you did." That's when the sadness started morphing into something else. Determination fire, a quiet, steady rage that felt almost cleansing. I won't be the one left broken. I told myself not this time. So instead of confronting them right away, I started planning, documenting, gathering every shred of proof, talking to a lawyer, learning my rights, protecting myself quietly, methodically preparing for the storm I was about to unleash. Because if they thought they could destroy me, they had no idea who they were messing with. I'll never forget the day. I decided it was time. No more pretending. No more crying behind closed doors. No more wondering if I was strong enough. I was done waiting, done suffering in silence. So I sent them both the same text. Simple, casual, almost harmless. "Hey, I'm making dinner. You both should come by." It's been a while since the three of us sat down together. The irony, right? The three of us just like old times. Except this wasn't going to be like old times. Not even close. As I set the table, my hands didn't shake, my heart didn't race, not anymore. I wasn't the woman who cried on the bathroom floor. I was someone else now. Someone they didn't see coming when the door opened and I saw them. Victor with his usual fake grin, Sophia trying to act sweet like she hadn't stabbed me in the back. Something inside me settled. It was clarity, pure cold. Clarity. We sat, we made small talk, or they tried to. I nodded, smiled. Let them fumble their way through fake conversations about work, the weather, anything but the truth. And then, when the moment felt right, I stood up, slowly walked over to the side table and pulled out a folder. Thick, heavy, stuffed with every single piece of evidence I had collected, I dropped it right onto the table. The sound echoed loud, sharp, final, and just like that, the air shifted. Victor's smile vanished. Sophia's face drained of color. They both stared at it like it was a bomb, because in a way it was, "Go ahead." I said, my voice calm, steady, strong. "Take a look. Every message, every hotel receipt, every call log, every lie." Victor stammered first to Diana. It's not what you think." His face was pale, eyes darting like he was searching for some magical escape hatch that didn't exist. "And Sophia?" Oh, Sophia tried the tears. Of course she did. Voice trembling, hands shaking. "We didn't mean for this to happen. It just did." I didn't flinch, not once. "You didn't just betray me as a wife," I said, looking straight at Victor, then I turned to Sophia. "You betrayed me as a friend, as family, as someone who trusted you with everything." They kept talking, scrambling, begging, offering half-baked excuses, pathetic apologies, but I cut through it, clean sharp. "You two deserve each other and everything that comes with it." I told Victor I was filing for divorce. I told Sophia, the woman who used to be like a sister to me, that as of this moment she was nothing, dead to me, a stranger. And I stood there watching them fall apart, knowing damn well this time I was the one holding the power. Walking away from that house, from them, It didn't feel like defeat. It didn't feel like loss. It felt liberating for the first time in what felt like forever. I wasn't carrying the weight of their lies on my back. I wasn't second-guessing myself. I wasn't waiting for the other shoe to drop. No, that version of me, she was gone, buried with every broken promise, every betrayal, every lie they fed me. I lawyered up fast, made sure my finances were secure, protected. What was mine? I wasn't going to let them burn my life down and walk away with the ashes. No, I took control of everything. The house, the accounts, my future. Every signature on those papers felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. They tried to erase. And you know what's funny? The moment people found out, friends, family, neighbors, it was like watching dominoes fall. Shock, disbelief, and then silence. People pulled away from them. The very same people who cheered for our marriage and who once adored Sophia suddenly wanted nothing to do with either of them. Meanwhile, I started to breathe again. Really breathe. I moved into a new place, smaller, but it was mine. No ghosts, no memories clinging to the walls. Just me rebuilding from the ground up, and for the first time in years, I started asking myself questions. I hadn't asked in forever. What do I want? What makes me happy? Who am I without them? I traveled. Oh God, I traveled places. I always said I'd visit someday. Well, someday. Finally showed up. I saw sunsets that made me cry, met people who reminded me that the world is still beautiful. And laughed, really laughed in a way I hadn't in years. I poured myself into new passions. I learned, I grew. I rediscovered the version of me that existed long before betrayal ever had a name. And slowly that heaviness in my chest, it started lifting. I started sleeping through the night again, started looking in the mirror and actually liking the woman staring back at me. And love. Yeah, I won't lie, I was terrified of it, terrified of trusting again, of opening my heart only to watch it shatter all over again. But life has a funny way of surprising you when you least expect it. I started small new friendships, new connections, no pressure, no expectations, just letting life unfold on my terms. And one day I realized something. I didn't need anyone to complete me. I was already whole. I was always whole. They just tried to convince me I wasn't. I stood in front of the mirror, same mirror where I once cried, once doubted myself, and I smiled. Not the kind of smile you fake for the world, but the kind that comes from deep inside, the kind that says, you made it, you survived, and you are so much stronger than you ever knew. And as I whispered to my own reflection, they thought they destroyed me, but all they did was set me free. I knew this wasn't the end. It was my beginning.